Ghana Cocobod's credibility as a first-class borrower was endorsed in London by over 20 international and Ghanaian banks when they signed for a syndicated receivables-backed pre-export finance facility of $2 billion.
The facility once again was oversubscribed and is the largest soft commodity deal in sub-Saharan Africa.
Trade has been increasing in value since 1992 when the government of Ghana under the NDC to relieve central bank of the pressure of raising finance within Ghana to purchase cocoa beans from farmers for export turned to international financial market to raise short-term finance to support this activity. The ceremony started with a cocktail reception affording the delegates the opportunity to interact with one another.
Whilst the cocktail was going on, the senior management of Cocobod and Cocoa Marketing Company proceeded with the pre-signing ceremony, which included inspection and verification of the documents. This procedure was overseen by a representative of Denton Wild Sapt, the legal team in charge of the finance deal.
At the pre-signing ceremony from Cocobod were Mr. William Mensah, Deputy Chief Executive of Finance and Administration, Mrs. Miriam Ukwabi, Director of Finance, and Mr. Clote Sifa, Director of Legal Services. Representing Cocoa Marketing Company was Mr. Musa Lemboni, Manager, CMC UK Limited.
The 2011 signing ceremony was held at the historic building, the Merchant Taylors Hall, in the City of London. Present at the main signing ceremony were Mr. Anthony Fofi, the Chief Executive Officer of Ghana Cocobod, Mr. William Mensah, Deputy Chief Executive, Finance and Administration, Mrs. Miriam Ukwabi, Director, Finance, and Mr. Clote Sifa, Director of Legal Services. Representing Cocoa Marketing Company was Nana Odro Owusu and Mr. Musa Lemboni, Manager, Cocoa Marketing Company UK Limited.
Board members of Cocobod led by Dr. Percival Kuranchi, Board Chairman Nana Domwa, Bernice Adiku Helu, and Professor Nketiafo.
Also present was His Excellency Professor Kweku Danso Boafo, Ghana High Commissioner to the UK and Ireland. The main signing ceremony was called into action by Veronica Kelinova of Denton Wild Sapt legal firm.
Starting the ceremony now. First, the representatives of the Cocobod will sign, then the coordinating initial mandated lead arrangers, and then we'll go sort of starting from that side of the table, then sort of the internal side of the table, continuing internal side of that side of the table, and finishing here. Then standard.
The documents were passed round to representatives of the banks, Cocobod and CMC to sign.
The banks involved in arranging the 2011 facility included Barclays Bank, Standard Chartered Bank, HSBC, SGSSB, Natixis, SMBC, Commerce Bank, Ghana International Bank, Agric Development Bank, EcoBank, Citibank, Netbank, DZ Bank, First Rand, KFW, ICBC, Rabobank, and BTMU.
Perception, not just of Ghana Cocobod.
On completion of the signing, Mr. Kweku Bedu Ado, the CEO of Standard Chartered Bank Ghana, congratulated Cocobod for good work done and observed that the oversubscription of the syndication by Cocobod, in spite of the financial difficulties, was testimony to the company's sound policies and creditworthiness.
I would like to congratulate Ghana Cocobod once again for yet another successful facility, which we believe was achieved on the back of exemplary performance, a reflection of your consistency and reliability and good management, and we trust that this trend will continue. Thank you.
Ghana Cocobod has come a long way.
Mr. Joe Mensah, manager, Ghana International Bank, proposed a toast to seal the signing of the successful deal.
Ghana Cocobod over the years has done a tremendous job. It provides extension services to the farmers. It builds roads and schools in the remotest parts of Ghana. It provides scholarships to the children of farmers. It provides inputs to the farmers. And above all, in Ghana, it is not only the bankers who earn bonuses, but cocoa farmers earn bonuses as well. So it is on this note that I ask you all to join me in, to put it in the Ghanaian parlance, saying Ayiko, well done to Ghana Cocobod and to the hard-working farmers of Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, to the hard-working farmers of Ghana and to Ghana Cocobod. Thank you.
The credit also goes to our hard-working cocoa farmers. And distinguished ladies and gentlemen, you can see one of our farmers here. He comes from the Brown Apple region of Ghana.
Mr. Anthony Fofi, the Chief Executive Officer of Ghana Cocobod, in a short speech, was thankful to the government of Ghana under the leadership of His Excellency Professor Evans Atamils for his commitment to the cocoa industry. The CEO of Cocobod paid tribute to all actors in the Ghana cocoa value chain and took the opportunity to announce that Cocobod has attained its 1 million ton production target ahead of its scheduled 2012-13 dates. He also said the $1.75 million raised in 2010 has been fully paid.
If we are fixing producer prices by the Producer Price Review Committee, Nana Damwa is seated on that committee with some other farmers. So what you have done today is not misplaced at all. We are going to use it for the intentions that you also have. Intentions of making sure that every bit of cocoa is purchased from our cocoa farmers. And the regularity of payment is also very important to the farmer. We've been talking about poverty reduction. We've been talking a lot about improvement in the quality of life of our people. And I must say that you, the participating banks, have contributed immensely to this success. We have also seen an increase in our production levels. This year, we had 1 million metric tons and above. There's an implication for that. It may mean that there's quite a lot of beans on the market. It is going to depress global cocoa prices. But we have other avenues. We produce the best quality cocoa in the world. And the best quality cocoa also attracts some money, some premium. Apart from that, we are also looking at, some people call it derived products, others call it byproducts, the development of the byproducts, so that we can have an added income to what we already have, an extra income to the cocoa farmer. We have in our Cocoa Research Institute cocoa drinks, cocoa gin, soft drinks from cocoa, cocoa pod husk used as feed meal. We can also have poultry feed from cocoa husk, and quite a lot of things we do with what we are supposed to throw away. We prepare even local soup from cocoa. Apart from the beans we know, which are used in the preparation of chocolate. I also want all of us here, particularly the ladies among us, that chocolate with very high cocoa solids, what we refer to as the dark chocolate, is a very healthy food, because we don't have the additives, the milk and then the sugar that is in it, which actually creates the fattening for our ladies. A lot of ladies shun cocoa or chocolate because of this particular problem. Anybody who does it can go to Panama and then look at the Panamanian Indians who are not in the urban areas, but who are in the rural areas, and they use cocoa in the preparation of their food. Not processed cocoa, but cocoa that is actually in the generic form. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I wouldn't be long on this. I believe that we'll come back again next year. We are building capacity for some of our local banks, but we would definitely have a partnership with you, these participating banks. And I hope that with this relationship that we have charted for ourselves, we will continue to be friends. There shouldn't be any hard bargaining next year. I know the pressures under which the banks are, but since we are friends, we should continue to be friends. Thank you very much. Let me say, all Ghanaians present to propose and then to respond to this toast. So to all the participating banks, you may take a sip and then visit it.
The banks, led by Pamela Green, Director, Syndications at Standard Chartered Bank, made a gift presentation to Cocobod to mark the occasion.
Well, there are a lot of interventions that can be used in order to fight the global crisis that we're in. I always refer to it as a global tsunami, because late last year it was so bad that in fact, there were economies that were actually getting shattered because of the crunch. We started with the Lehman Brothers collapse. But we in Ghana were a little bit insulated because we were not directly linked up with the global market. But the repercussions that it had on cocoa, especially on Cocobod, was that normally we do a trade finance. We source our funds from major banks in the European Union, in Europe. So these have lost appetite. These countries or companies have lost appetite, in giving out loans. But due to the track record of Ghana Cocobod, our repayment is excellent, and because of that, we actually had a very good year, by sourcing for about $2 billion from the syndication of banks in Europe. We have a system where we protect the farmer, and the protection is the producer price is set because we have an FOB price, which is an average of the fluctuations on the world market. This levels out most of the fluctuations. When it's a dip, the farmers don't suffer. The problem is what happens if the world market plummets now. Are you going to reduce the price to pay to the farmer? And that's what Cote d'Ivoire does. What we have is the interventions are there. We have the disease and pest control. We have a subsidy of fertilizers. We have the cocoa rose program. We have scholarships to farmers' wards. We have now introduced an insurance scheme for cocoa farmers. And this is very important because we need to improve the quality of life of our people. And if there's a backdrop of an insurance scheme when the farmer is disabled or even too old to farm, then he knows that there is a security net that he can actually apply to. And this is the insurance scheme. And I believe that this actually goes to improve the quality of life of our people. Yeah.
The goal is to recapture our previous role as the world's leading cocoa producer. We are now the second largest producer, but the intention is to become the world's largest producer. So, and the short-term strategies are that with the current stock of cocoa trees we have, we do intensive maintenance. This is by way of application of fertilizers, infestation control, and improved husbandry practices. Thus, in the short time, will increase the yields. In the long term, we have to replant and rehabilitate and rejuvenate the stock of the cocoa trees that we do have. And this is the replanting program that we intend to embark. And cocoa has been, it is said, the balance it's the mainstay of the economy. And in spite of whatever the fortunes we will get, including the oil, the government is minded to ensure that, output increases, continue with respect to cocoa, i.e. that the producer price is always, maintained at a very high level. The farmer is well incentivized at all times to produce. The services that we give in terms of extension and the purchases and indeed the maintenance of the crop are all always made efficient. That we endear the farmer is very important. We make the farmer very important. We become farmer-centered, and therefore we believe with the profitability, the services that we produce, cocoa will remain a good investment for all. Note, we are also embarking on massive processing, which will ensure that there is value addition at all times. And these will all increase the profitability in the long run of the cocoa production in the country. So, well.
grateful to the Lord for this signing. We began from 140 million some 18 years ago, and by the grace of God, we are 2 billion. It's been tiring and it's been hard working, but we trust that we will continue to make good use of the money that we have acquired. Basically, production. When you have produced, what you do is to ensure that it gets to the final consumer, and part of the funding will be used in paying for haulage costs, that's the cost of moving, and then also first you want to warehouse the product, so we're putting up warehouses to ensure that the produce is warehoused appropriately. Then from warehouses it's moved to the port, and Cocobod will ensure that funding is made available to the hauliers for shipments, as it were. Then from there also we do roads. We do cocoa feeder roads, or cocoa roads as we call it. You don't want to get the cocoa in the farm for it to get bad, but you want to get it out. So what we do is to ensure that some of the roads that are very bad, that are cocoa roads, currently we started with a program where we are tarring some of the cocoa roads, and then others are being resurfaced, to ensure that they are passable, and then bridges are being also constructed. And basically that's what we intend doing.
We've got a long-time relationship with cocoa producers around the world, and Ghana Cocobod is among them the number one. Also, the bank puts a special emphasis on sustainability, and Cocobod is the perfect demonstration that cocoa can be a sustainable business. And Cocobod, over the past, we can say almost 20 years now, has regularly invested and educated people, farmers, and increased the level of not only the yield of the farms, but also the quality of the cocoa.
The Cocoa Development Bank was founded to finance essentially agriculture and agribusiness. Since 2004, ADB has become a universal bank like any other bank in Ghana. What that means is that ADB can undertake any permissible activity like any other bank. But we have about 30% of our facilities extended to the agricultural sector. We are the only bank in Ghana today with that large exposure to agriculture.
It's Standard Chartered's continuing commitment to Ghana, and as you know, we've been in Ghana for almost 150 years. It's a very important part of our business, and Cocobod is always a very special relationship for us.
I only had the interest of becoming a farmer. If I had the difficulties in it, I wouldn't have joined the farming industry. But presently, as I stand here now, if I'm looking at the world price now and looking at Cocobod, giving farmers 71-point-something% of this world price, in fact, it has motivated the youth. As we were about to come here, there was a farmers forum we had in Accra. And if you look at the farmers who came, 78, almost 80% of the people who came were all youths, meaning that the cocoa industry is having a bright future ahead.
The 2011 Cocobod syndicated receivable-backed pre-export finance facility came to a successful end, raising the profile of Ghana's cocoa industry as a well-structured and managed industry with the capability to raise its own finance to support its activities.
Aside that, it re-emphasized the industry's contribution towards Ghana's foreign revenue. It also showcased the investment opportunities in the various cycle of the cocoa industry.